Here's a list of items needed for this build. Today we'll be doing a step-by-step conversion of a Remington 870 SuperMag shotgun. In its current configuration, it has wood stocks, a 28-inch barrel, and holds 5+1 rounds. That's boring. Step 1, we'll need to shorten the barrel. On this gun, we want to have the barrel be approximately 20.5 inches long with the KA1212T or KA1212BRT. Those are the threaded ones for the Sega. We'll need to measure this gun from the breech end here to the muzzle. As you can see, we've marked this one at approximately 18.5 inches. This will leave us about a 20.5 inch barrel after everything's done, because the KA1212 and KA1212BR both add exactly 2 inches of length to the barrel. So it makes it real easy to figure out your math for where you need to cut this. The next step will be to remove the vent rib. This is completely optional. I just don't like having vent ribs on fighting shotguns. They're extra weight and something else that can get banged up and damaged. If you like the vent ribs, then you'll want to cut the rib right after the last pedestal of the rib to make sure it's supported. So go ahead and cut it right after whatever your desired post is there. Since we had a mill available, we opted to mill down the pedestals to help speed up this vent rib removal process. What we're trying to do here is remove as much material of the pedestal as possible without getting actually down to the barrel. Once we're done with this, we're going to go in with a die grinder and a Scotch-Brite pad and polish that so it's flush. After milling, this is approximately what's left of the pedestals. This is after a few passes with the Scotch-Brite pad on the die grinder. And a few more passes. Once we sandblast and parkerize this, it will all be nice and smooth. We're going to do the initial cut with the chop saw, and then we'll touch it up on the lathe to true up the end. Now we'll true the end up on the lathe. Now we're going to thread the barrel to have the same 22mm thread and profile as the Sega 12 shotgun. Now that the threading's done, we're going to sandblast the barrel and the rest of the metal parts and get them ready for parkerizing. After sandblasting, we'll degrease these parts and put them in the park tank to get a nice even parkerized finish. After a few minutes in the park tank, they are done and ready to be removed, washed, and dried. We're now going to install the SJ Armo 3 oversized safety in the trigger group. Insert the SJ Armo 3 safety from the right hand side with the large ball portion sticking out. Install the detent ball. Install the detent spring. Use a small punch to depress the spring while pushing in the pin. Should go in by hand. Press the spring in until it's flush, and we're done. Now we're going to check and make sure that the safety is engaging both ways, and it is ready for use. Everything's been Duracoated and matte black and cured for a week. We're now going to reassemble the shotgun. First, we're going to install the Magpul MOE forend. We made a small clearance notch on this one to clear the mounting clamp for the S&J Hardware CQB adapter. Installation's pretty straightforward. I'm going to slide this thing on there all the way. Then very carefully thread the forend nut in there. Then MOE forends come with a nice little plastic tool that doesn't scratch up the mag tube, so it's just a matter of slipping the forend nut in there and tightening that down. That's done. With that done, we're going to install the barrel, and can either install the KA1212T or KA1212BRT. So we'll pull the forend halfway back, slide the barrel into place, install the lock ring, and we'll install the KA1212T. Now we're going to install the S&J Delrin mag follower, Wolf Extra Power mag spring, and the Tacstar mag extension. Now we're going to install the trigger group that we installed the S&J oversized safety on earlier. It's going to drop into place there. And instead of having the pins that we had earlier, we're going to use the screws for the Tacstar side saddle, which we're going to install. We'll drop a Loctite in each thread hole in the side saddle. Will ensure a snug fit, keep that from backing off under recoil. So now we'll line those up with the screws that we just put in and tighten those down. Now we're going to install the S&J CQB adapter. Now we're going to install the front clamp portion. You can see where we made the clearance cut earlier. And we're going to line that up right with the barrel lug. So that is right at the end of the rail. That's done. Now the AR-15 buffer tube. And Magpul MOE buttstock. Now the Magpul MOE Plus grip. That's done. We'll now install the Magpul backup sights. Now the True Glow sight. Since we threaded the barrel to Sega specs, we can really quickly change our attachments. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for new episodes covering other frequently asked questions and unique builds.
You'll see your sins in my vengeful eyes, 'cause I'm the point of despair for the good guys.